Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is Blue here. We are early in the morning. We're just trying to make this quick video for you guys going into next week. What we're going to be talking about specifically is stats. I think the stats have changed a little bit from what I put in my last guide. Now, it's not going to change a little bit. It's actually going to be better for us. And the reason is you should be going Apex Predator by now. If you're not, you're probably watching the wrong content. But what Apex Predator does is it says RIP gives you a chance to increase your bite damage. Now, in the past, on beta, I tested quite a bit of different gear. I said, hey, what if I was only crit mastery? What did my damage look like? And of course, my damage was the best, right? I also was like, hey, well, what if I was haste mastery? How would my damage look, comparable to those two with different stats? And I was surprised because actually haste mastery performed really well. It was probably like second. It was like really close. But unfortunately for that test, I did not run a crit haste build. It would have been really nice, I guess, going back, looking back, it's really nice to see how crit haste works. But anyway, from the results that I got from that is, wow, haste is actually beneficial for the Apex Predator legendary. The reason because, one, I guess it helps our bleeds a little bit, it helps our auto attacks, but it makes our bleeds tick faster, and if RIP is happening more quickly, then we have a better chance to get that Apex Predator proc to happen. So what is really good for us is usually in the past I say, hey, crit master is our best. That is still going to be our best, guys. And then verse was kind of like okay, it was decent, and then haste was kind of a dead stat. Luckily for us, haste is no longer a dead stat, but it actually gets pushed up on the priority list a lot. Especially because, hey, we have some trouble with energy, but also because it works really well with Apex Predator's legendary. So I just want to let you guys know going into next week, if you have some haste on your gear, it's not really the end of the world. It's actually probably really good. Now, what I also did for you guys is this is my favorite week. I don't know why. It's always a mad rush trying to get gear. But Feral is like usually really specific in stats. Luckily for us in Shadowlands, it won't be that way. But I love targeting gear. So what I did is I made a list for you guys. Let me go ahead and take off my image picture. It's that one. All right, you guys. So what I did is I made a list for myself, and I want to make available for you guys so you know. Now, the rule of thumb here is agility is so strong, you guys. If you get a gear upgrade, equip it. Agility is just on our, if you sim yourself, agility is just the best. So always take an item upgrade above better stats. And what's great now that we're kind of talking about it is stats really aren't as important to us because we're really benefiting off of a lot of stats. But anyways, beside the point, if you want to do the best you can, here what I did is I made a guide. So knowing what we do now that haste isn't really that bad and it's actually beneficial, I'm still telling you guys our best in slots are crit mastery. So if you go to the head, it's red, you go over here, so this is in Revendreth somewhere, one of the Revendreth, or Venthirs, whatever, I don't know, one of their zones. So the best head is actually crit mastery, so you know it's the best because it's an X. So anything with an X is crit mastery. Now going through here, some of these don't have any crit masteries. So this one I included a crit verse because it has a lot of crit, but you might actually want to be going for this haste mastery because we do benefit from haste. Now, kind of as a future video of prediction, I don't think haste will be as important to us. I believe haste for Feral is going to be one of those stats where it's like, hey, Feral, you need to have a certain percentage of haste. Once you reach that certain percentage, which we don't know what it is, I'm just guessing that it's going to be like that. Once you reach that certain percentage, no more. Okay, so for instance, once you get your 15%, no more. It'll become a dead stat. That's how I think it will be, but I don't think we're going to get to that point. Maybe in Mythics, when we're doing Mythics, we might be able to see where haste starts falling off. Right now, it's good. So if you have an option, grab this one. Grab this haste mastery, or grab this crit verse because it's got a lot of crit in there. Crit is our best stat, so it feels weird going for this, but haste is also really important. So back we have just a BIS. This one is a crit verse. I don't think on the wrist there is any haste crit, so I didn't include that. or maybe this crit is just ridiculously high. I forget why. So you kind of see here, just going through the list. For rings, you guys, our best rings drop in Theater of Pain. 2 of them are crit mastery, 1 is crit haste. Plague Fall is also crit haste, so I included that one. And trinkets. So this is your best trinket. I'm getting all this information from Hero Damage. It's kind of a website like Blood Mallet, where it kind of tries to simulate your stuff. Now, I know it's beta, so a lot of this is or not beta, but I know it's before raid, so it's kind of a lot of this is up in the air and it may get tuned. But this file was really strong on beta, so I kind of trust that. So I'm going to just go with what they're saying because, hey, this kind of, it was saying this was high, and I can agree with that as far as beta, so I'll just agree with the rest of the list. This is also from the other side. This is probably our best single target, and then I also included this one from Sanguine Depths. This is a really good AoE one. So that's it, you guys. I really hope you guys do well with your dungeons. As far as mythic rating and heroic rating, we really can't choose. We can't be picky with our slots. I mean, so let's just take out the headgear. Really, there's nothing to be picky here. You're just going to get what you get. And this one comes from the very last boss. So really just kind of, you make your decisions on, hey, does it have crit mastery? Awesome. Does it have crit haste? If there's options to pick between those, I don't think there's a lot of options. So neck, we probably want to be going this one, even though it's like not so much crit. But yeah, and the thing cool about the mythics, or just the raid in general, is you could be like, well, this has haste, it has a lot of mastery, this is pretty good, it has an effect, which doesn't really matter. So, don't I want that? I actually think that we might get a lot of our haste from the rings. Okay, so the rings, we don't really have a choice to pick our best. It's either crit verse, it's either verse mastery, I was looking at a different ring. Verse mastery, which is an a lot of verse, so that one's kind of like crappy in my opinion. And then we have a big haste mastery, so it's like, okay, I'll take that one because I know haste is good. And then we also have another haste crit. So you're going to be getting a crap ton of haste from these rings. So just going through the rest of your list, when you do, just take in mind, hey, let's try to get these rings. Where do they drop from? Oh, well, it's the last boss, so that kind of sucks. And this one drops from midway through the raid. But just kind of take that in mind. Just be like, okay, I'm getting a lot of haste from my raid rings. Maybe I don't want to get so much haste in my mythic dungeons or the rest of the gear if you have options to it. I did make a list and I kind of took it down. But for instance, the neck, yeah, we really don't have too many options. So this one's crit haste. Well, you're going to go for that one there. Crit mastery over haste mastery. So this is going to be one that you go over. But yeah, that's it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Have an awesome week. Good luck in the Mythic Plus. Hopefully you got some good RNG and get some good drops. But that's it. Take it easy, everyone. Peace.